Tim, are you out here?
I'm calling his name like a bitch.
Both
Alright, what's going on, guys? How's it going? I missed you guys. It's still pretty early. It's only you guys still can't see. Anyways, it's still pretty early, like 10:30. Give or take like 10:30. So Team No Sleep. This isn't gonna be a series. I just found this randomly. I hope it's good. It's my first time watching it, so I might as well watch it with you guys, you know. I have no one else to watch it with. So this one is called Mountain House Party Horror Story Animated.
The story happened in the year 1991. It is a very tragic but true story.
When Jordan won a ring?
My wife Alex and I were invited to my best friends, Tim and Jessica's private mountain house.
Yeah, look at it. Look at homeboy's face in the back. He's third wheeling, bro.
And they had recently gotten engaged and invited us to celebrate with them.
Yo.
They also asked my brother Daniel and his girlfriend Madison to join us as well. My brother drove us all to Tim and Jessica's house. It was a wonderful private house in the woods and mountains.
They look drunk.
This took place during the summer, so the weather was really nice as well.
Dipping?
We drove up the long driveway part and headed inside to greet our friends.
Yeah,
we got to the house around 7 p.m. Jessica had been preparing a meal for all of us.
Nobody want to go to the woods?
We ate dinner, chatted, and reminisced about old times, and then played some fun couples games while we shared some wine and snacks. I honestly don't remember what the time was. I'm guessing around 10 p.m. or something.
Past late as fuck, bro.
But we heard a knock on the front door. We all looked at each other with great confusion. I asked Tim if he was expecting anyone else, and he said no. Jessica opened the door and I stood next to her. And it was a woman. She must have been in her early 20s.
She looked fucked up,
She looked pale and had dark bags under her eyes.
Hell nah.
She said that she and her husband had broken down and they needed help.
Broken down where?
She then pointed behind herself and down the driveway. There is a pickup truck with the hood of the bonnet open and some guy waving at us. Myself and Daniel didn't know the first thing about cars, but Tim did.
Typical.
And so Tim offered to go down with some of his tools and to take a look. Meanwhile, the girl waited inside. She took a seat and the first thing she said was, "Do you have any food?"
Is she hungry?
We all didn't say anything for a second.
She an eater, bro.
Probably because of how weird and awkward the situation was.
Oh, man.
Jessica, being kind, said there was some leftover chicken that she could have. Jessica made her up a plate and handed it to the girl. She started to eat it so
Why is one hand
like
behind
she
her
was
back?
starving or something. Each of us tried to make small talk with her, but she gave some vague answers though, and it didn't seem like she was interested in talking.
Damn.
I asked what she was doing out here and how they broke down, as I found it really odd that they got stranded right at the bottom of the driveway. She then said that me and my brother were on our way to go camping. I said, "Brother."
I thought you said
you said you were your husband. She carried on, slowly eating before mumbling, and said something like, "Oh yeah, I met my husband."
Nah, bro, kick her out.
I thought something just isn't right with all of this. And so, I went to take a look through the window down the driveway, and I couldn't see Tim or her supposedly husband.
Wait, was Tim his brother?
I said to my brother Daniel that we should go down and check if everything is alright.
Oh shit.
And he agreed with me. Daniel and I headed down the long driveway.
He sent his brother out there
sharing
to
each other's suspicions about that girl.
Green.
When we got down to the car,
It be your own boys.
Tim nor that guy was anywhere in sight. But what we did see was the toolbox that Tim had brought with him. It was on the floor with tools scattered everywhere. Daniel and I called out a few times. Tim, are you out here?"
I'm calling his name like a bitch.
Both of us scanned the nearby woods and we couldn't see a thing. It had gradually been getting darker, and we couldn't see anything without flashlights. So going further into the woods was pointless. And so Daniel said that we should go back and call the police. About halfway up the driveway, we heard a scream coming from the house. It was one of the girls. Daniel and I ran up to the house as fast as we could, burst through the door and couldn't see where the girls were. We each called for our other halves' names. We heard another scream coming from upstairs. We ran upstairs and saw that girl kicking and screaming at the bathroom door while holding a kitchen knife. Daniel and I tackled her to the ground and disarmed her of the knife.
What's her
Daniel held the
problem?
girl down while I went to check on the girls. Jessica had been slashed with a knife on her arm. It wasn't serious, but she was in some pain. Alex and Madison were untouched. I said that Tim is missing and we don't know where he is. Alex went to call the police but said that she couldn't get through.
No service.
She said
right?
that there was no dial tone.
Oh no.
As
no,
we couldn't
no
get through the
dials.
police, I
they
said
cut
let's
the
just
line.
tie this girl up and wait until we figure out what to do. I asked Jessica where the flashlights were. Daniel and I grabbed the flashlights and said we needed to look for Tim as we think he was in trouble. I said to the girls, keep trying to get through to the police. We'll be back in 20 minutes and then we would drive to the nearest police station or anywhere with a phone in Daniel's car. Daniel and I went outside and we searched nearby for Tim. We walked around in the woods calling Tim's name.
Damn.
After some time of searching,
they cut the line.
we came across a telephone pole that had been chopped down. Someone must have done this on purpose, and that was the reason why we couldn't get through to the police. The line had been disconnected. We need to get back to the girls right now, I said to Daniel. We started running back towards the house, and then we heard something on the other side of the woods. It was what sounded like 2 gunshots. Daniel and I carried on running. Eventually, we got back to the bottom of the driveway, and were shocked to see that the pickup truck, along with the tools, were now gone.
Oh, shit.
We didn't have time to ask questions
Y'all
unless we
got
wanted to get back
finesse.
to the house and to check the girls. When we returned to the house, it was empty and the girls were gone. And somehow, so was the girl who was tied up. We searched the entire house, the backyard, and again the nearby woods, and found no one or nothing at all. Me and Daniel got in our car and drove as fast as we could to the nearest police station, and we told the police everything that had happened.
Where's your boy at,
We waited
though,
at the
bro?
police station for them to return. They came up with nothing, just like us.
Typical, bro.
I'm gonna skip all the searching and warning because this story is depressing enough. This story has haunted me my whole life. I don't know what happened that
What do you
night,
mean you don't know
who
what
those
happened
people
that
were,
night,
where
bro?
my wife or the others had gone missing to. My brother and I remain close and still do to
Wait.
this day.
What the? I thought. Hold up. Is that it? Yeah, I thought. Hold on, let me turn. I thought homeboy that disappeared with the guy with the pickup truck was his brother, the one that dropped him off. I'm confused, low key, bro. Let me know down in the comments. But yeah, that story was trippy. It was trippy. I like it, no lie. So shout out to Martin Animations for creating that horror animation story. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for even clicking on the video, man. It means a lot. Shout out to you guys. And I'm out.